good evening, wherever you are in this world. Welcome to Radio Work. Let's start. Welcome to Radio Works World. This is your radio show host, Dalal Akoury. From today, I will share my story with you. And I'm broadcasting from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina in the US. And I am so honored to be part of this amazing group because I know that God has allowed me to share my story with everyone around. And my story is not much different than your story, but it's my story. My story begins when I lost my very dear father, and I was just 17. My dream was to be an engineer like my dad. I loved him so very much, but my dad died from pancreatic cancer. He was under a tremendous amount of stress, and he was smoking, and he was drinking coffee. And as a young person, 17, the oldest of four, I knew that my dad's stress caused his cancer. I knew that my dad's stress caused cancer, and I made a promise to him. But I made a promise to everyone else since then that I will try to find a cure for cancer. So I've done everything. I stopped being an engineer and I became a doctor. But I was hoping to find a cure for cancer. And that happened 30 years or more ago. I couldn't find a cure for cancer, but I've learned through my journey that stress kills. And I tell you what, every one of us is stressed. I learned so much about stress. I learned what stress does to the body. And I learned that stress is not bad if we use it the proper way. So the story is, why are you under stress? Why am I under stress? That is really my story, because stress is threats. It has to do with your perception. It has to do with my perception. What is my stress? My stress was used in a positive way. My stress was a great thing because it made me have a purpose, and it made my dad's death meaningful. So I wanted to put a stop to suffering. And honestly, my quest for the last 35 years was to try to find a cure for cancer, for pain, for discomfort. And I wanted to empower women because I know that I was so blessed to have a powerful demeanor that made me say, no matter what, I am going to make it. And that's really what made me keep going. That's my story, really. My story is nothing stopped me because I knew that my purpose is bigger than me. And I would like to really have Marina, and I'll turn that over to Marina for a second so that she can ask me questions. Why is it that I want to discuss my story? So Marina, over to you.
Wow, it's such a privilege to have you here, and our listeners certainly, they already have pen and paper. They know there's always something to learn, always something so amazing that becomes part of their life. There is no such person, at least I've never met someone who never experienced stress.
Absolutely.
And many, many times I feel like shaking. I start with myself, because me included, and I shake myself thinking, remember where you are going. It's not worth it. The stress is not worth it. You are better than that. And yet it's very hard. It's very hard to ask yourself, oh, come on, what's the worst that could happen? And those worries are building up and are building up. And in our society, it's very rare when you have time to reason with yourself. It's very rare when you have time to go for a walk. I mean, in England, we go for a walk. It's normal to go for a walk. I remember in America, people thought I lost it. What's wrong with her? She's walking. But taking like a couple of minutes to reconnect yourself with yourself seems like seems like mission impossible. So what is, in your own experience, a very simple, easy way of getting on top of your stress?
Okay, well, I have to tell you, Marina, here to stay. I have learned this from a very early age, and that was my salvation. So I had to learn that stress is a motivational thing, but I need to know how to equip myself to be able to conquer stress. Okay, any threat in my world makes me at risk to be system, which is my primitive brain, to take over. So when my primitive brain takes over, it thinks I'm fighting a lion, that I have to fight or flight or I'm gonna die. So it creates a genetic cascade that is a vicious circle. It raises your blood sugar, it raises your blood pressure, it raises your heart rate, and it really is a consumption of energy that's huge. Then you end up fatigued. But stress was meant to happen for us to really be stressed for a minute, and then it's turned on and off as needed. But now the new lifestyle is stress on 24/7, 365 days a week. We've never learned to meditate. We've never learned to meditate no matter where we are. I teach my patients to have their sanctuary wherever they go. It could be a war, but you have your sanctuary, your peace. You feel great inside. You believe who you are. You know your mission. You know you're safe because you change your perception. Your perception is your belief. If you use your energy resources the wrong way, which is really your dopamine, your epinephrine, your norepinephrine, your cortisol, if you keep using these on a consumption basis, you lose it. So you have no gas left in the car. Car can't work. Then the car makes mistakes. That's the mistakes that are happening causes cancer. Why? Because the genetic changes that are supposed to protect you are now against you. Why? You're not having time to repair. You don't have time to sleep. So there is food that would help you to calm down the brain. How is that? If you increase your GABA by eating the food that is rich in GABA, for example. So for me, my story is I am driven to the max to make a difference in the world. I'm driven to the max to share with the world that they can change their life. They have ways, they have tools, and they can tap in the power of their own self. But it begins by self-love. And I want to really, I don't want to be speaking like a monologue. I would like to get you back on, and I want to turn this over to you so that we can have a dialogue.
Wow, you see, health is such a great gift.
Absolutely.
And for those of us who were born into health, it's more than being born into royalty. And yet, I don't know why people can't value health as they have it. They only start considering health after they lost it. And to me, it's I think it's not about the wisdom. I think it's to do with your desire to enjoy life. I think it's to do with loving yourself, like you said. And most of the time, it's always something outside, something in the external world, something that is not really part of who you are, that is distracting you, is diverting your attention from what really, really matters, your health, into things that are really not relevant.
Yes.
And I wonder at what point in your life, apart from suffering such a tremendous loss, when in your life you realize that health is the greatest gift?
When I lost my dad, I realized health is the greatest gift. And then when I became a pediatric oncologist in training, and I saw lives going every single day, I've learned that, and I have seen the children who come from family with faith, families who believed and give permission to the children to go peacefully, that the children went peacefully and it was easy. When I saw that a lot of suffering happening in the emergency room, where I ended up doing emergency medicine for a long time also. And during that time, I've seen people suffering from all diseases over and over, and they never get better. I mean, I see them over and over and over, but nobody ever taught them to live right, to believe in themselves, to tap deep inside, to understand that the body is meant to heal itself. Eating the food is language. Food is it's not just medicine. Food is medicine, but food is a language. Every single setback, I've had tons of setbacks, and I can just talk about my setbacks, but I really don't feel like it. I'm an optimistic person. Every setback has been a gift for me. Every time people put me down all the way, I've pushed up as high as, but I don't know how. I bounce back, but it's not because of me. It's despite of me. It's because I have a mission bigger than me. I realized that, and I had faith bigger than myself too. So anytime things have gone the wrong way, I bounce back. I want everybody to bounce back, but we need to have body equipped for bouncing back. The way the body is equipped to bounce back is you have to have hope, because you have to change your neurotransmitters in the body. You change them by a laughter. If you laugh, you change your neurotransmitters. If you hug, you change your neurotransmitter. If you sleep, you change your neurotransmitter. If you eat the right food, you change your neurotransmitter. So I started realizing there's food that destroy me, make me more nervous, make me more anxious, make me restless. A lot of sugar causes this disruption in the body. So I do not want to talk about setbacks. I will in my other book, but in my book, I'll write my story, because my story reveals that every setback was a gift, but I took the gift and used it the proper way. So setbacks are gifts if you look at them as gifts. If I see them as a present, I see them as a turning point, as I see them as a challenge that makes me stronger and powerful. Because really, it's not about my power. My power is to help people. And I want, by my example, to show that the weakest person in the world is the strongest person. Because I'm a female foreigner from Egypt. I can talk about this for the rest of my life. But for me to achieve what I achieved, that's a story for a lot of people, but it's not my story. It's a story that, I mean, how could that poor little girl end up fighting the whole system, reaching where she is, and venturing in an integrative medicine when it was a taboo? I mean, this is a lot of daring that I had, but it's not about my daring. It's about my purpose. If I didn't have a purpose, I wouldn't dare. If I didn't have a purpose, I wouldn't be speaking about optimism and about how can I help you, because I helped myself. I want to be an example. I'm going to be an empowerment. I don't want to be talking about, okay, well, I came from here and this happened. I left so many wonderful things in Egypt where I came from. I came from a well-to-do family. I was a doctor. My father was an engineer. I left all that. I left my 2 sons in Egypt when my oldest was only 3 years old and my youngest was not even a year old the first time I left. But I had a purpose bigger than me, which is to find reason, how can I stop pain? So when you have a purpose bigger than you, you're going to find people around you that will help you. You'll learn how to eat right. You'll learn how to love yourself. You'll learn how to change your belief system, because your belief system is based on just perception. And your perception is your belief. And when your belief becomes real, it affects your genes. That's what we call epigenetics. People think the environment is what's killing us, but we have two environments. It's the external environment and the internal environment. Any infection in my body, any inflammation in my body, any stress in my body, any bad hormones in my body changes my chemistry and make me prone to change my genes. So if you don't want to change your genes, love you, accept you, forgive you. I forgive myself. I forgive my people who hurt me. I've forgiven everybody. And I have adopted an attitude of gratitude. And that's really what saved me. I can dwell on all the pain I've been through, but those pains have been the turning points in my life. I mean, I have story after story, and I write all that. But I don't want me to be stumbling on my story. Yes, for a moment it was painful. For a moment I cried. For a moment I hung onto the problems. But now, what can I do for my purpose? What can I leave for my legacy? What is it that I want people to remember? I don't want to even be remembered. I just want to help because I came here for a purpose. Now, I turn that back over to you, my dear friend, Marina.
Wow. Wow. I could listen very much. You know, I was thinking that tonight I was visiting my daughter. She got two beautiful angels. One is just 10 days old and is a boy. And then
congratulations.
Yes, I'm so blessed. And then there is the little girl. She's an angel. She's about 19 months old.
Yeah.
And you know, the first word she said was hug.
Oh, wow.
So I'm thinking, I believe in hugs, and I believe that is nothing more powerful than a hug.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that even before I had the grandchildren, I was thinking about my health, and I was in many ways thinking that is the best gift I have.
Absolutely.
Now I'm thinking, you know what? I have to stay healthy for them. If not for me, for them.
Yes.
I can't afford the luxury to lose my health. I have to, you know, laugh more, run more. What is that I have to do? I have to do it in double measure simply because there are two angels there who need me, and I want to be part of their life for as long as possible. And at the same time, you know, you look back and you are thinking of people you love, and they left sooner than anybody thought. And sooner they, even themselves, they could not imagine how magical life is and how could just disappear in a split second. And
it's magic.
I wonder, because our listeners are coming from different demographics, and I'm 55 years young.
Absolutely, you're young. You're my baby.
I feel I'm getting younger and younger each day. And there are people who, I look at them, they are so beautiful, they are so young and amazing, and yet they forget to smile.
Yes.
Tell us, what is the power of your smile?
The power of the smile changes every chemistry of your body. And I think I was born smiling. I think I don't know anything else to do. I have never been able to do anything but smile and be grateful. And I think people with the attitude of gratitude can overcome everything. I have to tell you, I didn't. Now that you said your age, I've never hid my age. And I'm 62.
Wow. Congratulations. Do you happen to celebrate your birthday each day like I do?
Absolutely. Every day is a gift. Every day is a present. Every day is hope. But also understand the universe. Like you said, the stars. Every star is part of your universe, and we are our own stars, and we are a universe. We need to understand our environment. We need to understand the food is medicine, and every season has a food that prepares you for the following season. So eating seasonal is a wonderful thing to do. It's about understanding the environment, understanding the universe, understanding who you are. Why are you doing what you're doing? And don't dwell on the bad things. Bad things are here to stay. I have, many years ago, I have given a speech, and it was about the beauty to be an immigrant all your life. When immigrants take things for granted like everybody else, they lose the desire to be free, free from every bond, free from every bond of pain, every bond of hatred, every bond of needing. I don't need sugar, I don't need alcohol, I don't need drugs, I don't need anything to be very happy. I'm very happy. I could drink one glass of wine, I'd be laughing like I have 100. I can't drink none and I'll be happy. Be happy with who you are. You're black, you're fat, you're green, you're yellow, you're Egyptian, you're terror. I mean, it doesn't matter. This is who I am. I am a female from Egypt. It's nothing wrong with that. I'm fat and love me the way I am, not the way people think I should be. Then you don't have tension. You don't waste energy being, oh, I look bad, I look horrible. I never have tolerance for myself to do this. So that's why I've never done it. I've always been, I am who I am. Whatever it is. I mean, my sex, my preference, my religion, it's who I am. So I love me. I want everybody to love themselves the way they are and not give excuses. And even if I have weakness, I want to admit it and accept it and own it. When I own it, I'll be able to change it. I'll be able to transform it. And I am really honored that you are doing an amazing, amazing, empowering program that is going to help a lot of women to really be free again. And not only women, because it's not about us. It's about men too. It's about children. It's about everyone. But we need to empower us women first because we're core. And together, we can transform every life. When I speak to you, you're changing my energy. Your smile, your laughter, your kindness, you're changing me. And I want to be also changing others. So I want all of us to grow. And thank you for doing this. I think this is the most amazing service you're doing for empowering not women, not children, not men, but the whole world. So it's not just Radio Works world, it's you changing the works and the world of everyone. Thank you so much for what you're doing. I'm happy to answer any question, by the way. And back to you, my dear friend Nina.
That's so beautiful. I was thinking that as a child, you are taken by your parents to do regular checkups, like for they take you to a dentist, they take you to, they check because there are certain checks they think they will keep things in a right balance.
Right.
But I never heard of a mental checkup. Why do you think mental health is out of the radar, it's almost like taboo? What do you think is making us as society to ignore the biggest challenge of all, mental health?
Because we're trying to make people fake. We can't fake be happy when we're not. We need to allow people to have moments where they can be true to themselves. We allow people to be, and we have to have more training, education. We need to be the light of the world. We need to go out there and say, listen, threats are here to stay. Threats are what causing your stress. Here are tools to help us. Number one, become aware of when are we stressed, become in tune with the body, become in tune with the environment we're in. If we're having a famine, if we're having a death in the family, that is an energy drainer. So what can we do to restore the energy? How can we get better sleep? How can we be there for each other? What are the outlets we have? Like your radio show is an outlet for women to express themselves. We have to have networks of groups. We have to have those groups for men, women, and everybody and say, it's okay to be weak. It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to sin. I'm not saying go ahead and be wrong, but admit it, accept it, and own it, and move on. Because you can't be who you're not. I don't have to please no one. I want to do the right things, not just to please me only. It's not about pleasing me. It's I need to find my purpose. I need to find what I'm here for. And I need to love me the way I am. And I need to understand that these bad experiences are essential to shape me to be who I need to be. The death of my dad, the leaving my children away from home, leaving everything I lost in Egypt and started from scratch, cleaning homes when I was a doctor, coming from a well-to-do family. I don't want to dwell on that. It's not important to me. I can say it, but it's because I had something bigger than me. I would do whatever it takes. But also I need the tools. I had a lot of love, had a lot of forgiveness. I never wasted my energy in hating people because that's energy wasted. You cannot restore your body when you're using the energy for mental agony. You need to restore, rebuild. So every moment, cancer cells are made and cells are destroyed. Every second, the gastrointestinal cells are constantly recycling, constantly. So I cannot repair them as fast as I can if I'm using the energy for anger. So I need to train people. Churches used to do this, but I love churches, I love religions, I love mosques, I love temples. It's not about that. Those were places where people used to meditate but now they're used for political reasons at times. They're used for fear. Fear is bad. Fear is bad. Fear is bad. Bad, bad, bad. Replace fear with love, forgiveness. Replace fear with forgiveness. Life will change. Your chemistry changes. Now, there's a lot of other things. I'll help people restore their cortisol level. I'll help people restore their hormones. We women lose hormones. All that can be done. But more importantly, you cannot do it unless you restore the core. Okay? So, of course, I need hormones. Of course, I need good food. Of course, I need neurotransmitter and amino acid, whatever. But if the core is bad, if the car is horrible and the motor is done, you can't paint it. You paint as much as you want the car. You can put whatever you want for the outside of the car. What matters is the engine still working? Is enough gas in the engine? Am I oiling? Oiling is love. Am I oiling the engine? Anyway, back to my friend.
Well, you are so right in saying that the whole engine, your well-being, is what keep us kicking and vibrant and ready to help and kind and wonderful. And most of the time, I think you mentioned scarcity, and most of the time I'm thinking there are too much bad news out there. That's why we started actually Radio Works World. We are the good news channel, so we could we could bring out what is so abundant and yes, unknown. And what really, really, it's almost, I feel like I'm on a crusade to
You are.
to bring about the science of you, to bring about something you never thought about yourself, because we get degrees, we get assets, we get everything under the sun, you name it. But there is one thing that most people I met, that total ignorance.
Absolutely.
Total ignorance is almost like, is this possible for you to be this amazing human being and not knowing? And I think it's a lot of social conditioning and a lot of, a mixture of cocktail of social conditioning and limiting beliefs. And yet, what do you think about self-esteem? How could somebody
the most important thing in the world
can reach out to their self-esteem, to see who they truly are? Because I look at people and I see how amazing they are, and then they're thinking, they're looking behind like I'm talking to somebody else. I said, no, it's you I see this in, and I can't help it. I see it, and I feel this urgency to this. It's almost like I can't control it. I can't help it. I feel this urgency to reunite you with your worth, with your self-esteem, with who you truly are, with your truth, to actually, like exactly like you said, to say to yourself, I love myself. This is who I am, and I won't change anything.
Absolutely.
Because you could grow into the person who can help others, into the person who can love themselves. You could grow. It's just a matter of choice. So what is your view on self-esteem? What keeps people on the other side of the river? What keeps people thinking, I'm not worth it?
Because the number one, society makes it that way. But you need to raise above that. I need to rise above that. So what I do personally is I love me, as I said, with my good, bad, and ugly. This is who I am. If I don't love me, why should you love me? Why would you love me? There's no reason for anybody to love me if I don't love me. So I begin with accepting me. If me was someone else, wouldn't you love that person because they're suffering inside? Wouldn't you love them just because nobody else does? But, and if I look at that person in the mirror, that's me, and I look at the pity and the pain and the discomfort, wouldn't I love that person and say, you know what? You're great. It doesn't matter if you're the richest one in the world or not. You have a purpose on this earth, and you will be rich as much as you want to, and you'll be poor as much as you want to. You bring it to yourself. I don't want anybody to be somebody else. I'm not 25 anymore. I have to love that. If I'm 80, I'm going to love that. It doesn't matter. Acceptance is the next thing. Love. When you love, you accept. When you accept, you start moving on. So you have to love first, accept second, and move on third. And dig deep enough to find your purpose. And when you find your purpose, you'll find every question. Because then everybody you need will come your way. Like, I always wanted to meet you. I know that. You may not even know that. You always probably wanted to meet me. But because we were longing enough, we are finding each other because we have a common purpose and a common goal. That's why we met Veronica. That's how we met. That's why we met JT. That's why we're all here. Is because you want to empower women to write their stories. Because when they write their stories, they're going to help somebody else. So we need to be there for one another. Every one of us has a different talent. My talent is to coach in health. And I tell everybody your health is wealth. Your talent is to bring it to awareness. The next person talent is to help people make money. The first person is to get it on social media. Every one of us has a talent, and we need to make all the talents available for everyone. Some of it is free and some of it we pay for. That's just the way life is. Nothing good is free. I mean, we have free things which are great, but everything that is worth anything you sweat for. And it's not free, it means you have effort. It's not just have to be money. Everything that is worth anything needs some kind of effort. Okay? If I want to be healthy, it's an effort, it's a homework. If I want to be wealthy, it's an effort, it's a homework. If I want to be renowned, it's a homework. If you want to help women, it's a homework. There's a job. There's nothing that is very important that comes for free. And free does not mean only financially free. It's time. Time is the biggest asset. It's the biggest money I have. I don't have big. Every second is money for me. Every second is not just my money. My currency is time.
Beautiful.
So, what do you think?
I think that investing in yourself is the biggest challenge, because you are raised to believe that you have to deliver for others.
Yeah.
You have to go and get an education so you could have a good job, so you could take care of your family, so you could raise your kids, so you could. It's never about you. But actually, the truth is that unless you are strong, unless you are healthy, unless you are focused, it's very hard.
And financially independent.
Exactly, it's very hard to take care of anyone else. So that's why I feel that investing in yourself, as you said, people pay for what they value what they pay. Doesn't matter the currency, doesn't matter is in dollars or in time, or
Right, right.
more precious than any kind of money. But I think good people who devote themselves to great causes, to helping others, to raising their family, to caring for the people they love, they never learn how important they are to themselves. They
Mhm.
never thought of investing in themselves. If they do anything, they will go ahead and they will make huge sacrifices to please somebody else. But they find it very, very difficult to say yes to themselves, to invest, to do something for themselves for a change.
But you know, what you just said, it makes a lot of sense. But also, when you're empty, you have nothing to give. So when you love yourself, invest in yourself, whether invest in your looking good, or investing in eating the right food, or investing in sleeping, or investing in education. If you invest in yourself, you fill up. When you're full, you can give. But when you're empty, you have nothing to give. So if you don't invest in yourself, you have nothing to give. So I'm not sure you're helping anyone, not even you, not just not helping yourself, but not helping anyone. Because you can't live on empty, and you can't give anything if you're empty.
So true. And I met amazing people who they think very little of themselves. And I just wonder, what would be your key message? Coming back to the first sentence, that stress kills, actually kills. What will be your key message for our listeners tonight, or morning or afternoon, wherever you are in the world?
If you change the stress and make it power, if you change the stress and change it into a turning point, if you take the stress as a gift, if you take the stress as what it is, nothing more, nothing less, and accept it, love it, and find solutions to the next stage. When you feel peace inside, when you give rest to your brain, you're going to be able to accomplish any and everything. When your brain is in a meditative state, which I do, I get people into a very healthy brain wave. It's called the alpha wave. So once I get people in that alpha wave, I'm so sorry, in that alpha wave, they feel so much better, and they're able to move to the next step. So once you really accept you, once you're able to get your brain to calm down to from the beta wave that is a very chaotic, crazy wave, down to at least an alpha wave, and sometimes theta wave, and the best gamma wave, slower waves, you become very creative, you become very resourceful, and you're able to tap into your inner self and tap into the universe. So if you take stress and see it at the other side of the coin, which is success, if you trade stress for success, emotional success and all, life changes and you're happier. So I'm hoping that every single listener today is able to see what you and I are seeing, the beauty of each one of us, that none of us are made for nothing. Every one of us has a bigger purpose than themselves, whether we know the purpose yet or not. Being shaped for the true purpose, we just need to keep on going, learning, studying, educating ourselves, feeding ourselves, taking care of ourselves, and helping others. But it needs to understand how the work, you need to know how it works, who you are, what you need, how to eat, how to sleep, how often you need to follow the universal rhythm. There is a universal rhythm. We need to follow the rhythm of the universe in order for us to be part of the universe. We're not alone. We're one with the universe. We're one together. I hope I didn't overwhelm. I hope I made sense to all of you.
Well, I've been told many times that I don't understand half of the thing you are saying, and then I'm thinking, you know what? I can't wait for you to understand, but what I can do, I can give you the tools to learn this language, because that will empower you and that will make you look inside as if is so much abundance there that you will never need anything from any other source. So don't worry about other people not understanding the language.
I'm just trying to say, I'm trying to really give a lot of information, and sometimes it's too much, but I really feel like I would like to share more and more, and we want to make small pieces and series that are small series that I would love to make, so that we can help people slowly to get from point A to point B to point B to point C. So I do it in phases, because I cannot overwhelm people. I need to help them to go from step 1 to step 2 to step 3 to step 4, but always with the goal, the end in mind. So always know what you want, but know that there's steps and phases. You go step 1, step 2, step 3, and never fear. But you can't jump before you crawl. So
I believe in baby steps, and most of the time, no matter how huge the challenge seems, I'm thinking, this is the opportunity. This is the biggest opportunity I ever had. So I tend to take smaller bites and take it easy, and try to enjoy that moment when turning a challenge into a great opportunity. It's an amazing experience, and you feel that you are part of something that's magical. The whole experience becomes more or less unique, simply because you treat it in a different way than you ever been told. So a lot of time, most of the time, I have to unlearn what I knew before to be able to learn new things. And I would love nothing more for us to have a series where you come along and you invite your own clients or other people who want to be interviewed, and you could discuss about well-being and the success stories that are out there to inspire people, because inspiration is in short supply, and it's almost like taking a shower each day. So what do you think? Would you be able to come more often?
Oh, I am honored to be your friend. I am very pleased with your service to the world. I am believing that you're going to reach thousands and thousands of people. And I know that together we're going to grow bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and we're going to add more and more of us. And I think we're glued together, and I think we're going to serve one another, and we're going to serve the world, and we're going to leave an imprint that lasts forever.
Oh, from both sides, next time, you know, there is a next time. Is goodbye.
Well, I really appreciate you. That was lovely. Thank you. Mwah. Take care.
I love you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.